Well. Hello, dear listeners. Today we have none other than the amazing Granny B007, amazing Toastmaster who also happens to be District 74 Director. Help me welcome to the virtual podium, Granny B, Distinguished Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, dearest Busi.
You are a phenomenal Toastmaster. One thing that I know about you is your energy. There is nobody who I know who has so much energy and a whole lot of fun as you go through your Toastmaster journey. Would you be kind enough, Granny B, to introduce yourself properly, as opposed to my Granny B introduction? It's just that that's the name that's dear to me.
Thank you so much. Yes, that is my professional name, Granny B007. And from the name, you can see this one is a bit cheeky, you know? Who adds 007 to their name? Well, maybe I should even just start by saying I'm official 007. You see, my Namibian ID is my date of birth, followed by 007. So I'm officially a Namibian 007. And yeah, I even have a little bit of a 007 character in me. So I guess it works. But I think the biggest part of it, because I am an executive coach and trainer, I do find, and the part of the professional name comes from the fact that, you know, executives really actually need a granny. And what does a granny represent? A granny means it's somebody that has had experience and can present insight by asking critical questions that help them and channel their thoughts potentially in directions that could just unfold a brand new line, thought, adventure, whatever it is that is needed. But another thing of a granny is that a granny can love no matter what. And you know, it doesn't matter who you are, what level of executive you are. A lot of people have experienced a lot of stuff and they need to be loved in order to make their true given potential come out and shine. But there's one more thing about a granny.
Tell me.
A granny will kick butt when needed. So it's not all mushy. We need action. We need you to do stuff. We need you to be something and make sure you reach your potential. So that is Granny B007.
Wow.
And yes, once I heard somebody say, they made a statement, and next to my name, they made this statement, the one who found the fountain of youth. I thought that was so precious.
Ooh, yes,
It was so sweet.
Wow.
But yes, I am the 64-year-old that does have the energy of a 4-year-old and hopefully the wisdom of the 64-year-old.
That, I think, is about correct, Granny B. I would concur. Granny B, I know you are one of the busiest Toastmasters in Southern Africa and probably in quite a large part of the world. Tell me, how did you start your Toastmaster journey? What is the genesis story?
Well, there's nothing spectacular. I can't say I had this fear and I overcame it, or I was searching for this and I found it. It's nothing like that. But what I can say is I was invited to a meeting. I looked at the people there and I thought, oh, these seem to be quite nice people. Okay, let me join. I didn't have a clue what Toastmasters had to offer. I was given a booklet and told to prepare a speech I did it and I was ready for the next meeting. And then I made sure every meeting I arrived, I was ready with another project and I delivered them. And that was long ago. I mean, I joined Toastmasters in 2001. And those years, there was that 10cc booklet,
Mm-hmm.
and I finished that in record time. And just when I finished it, and it was in October. I started in June, I think, and I finished in October. And I received this message to say, you have received X amount of credit in your bank account. This Toastmasters Club is now closed. And I thought, what? I
Oh
didn't
boy.
even get notice. I didn't know, but I just got a notice. This Toastmasters Club is now closed. And because I had paid my dues,
Right.
September, you pay your dues. And it was
Mm-hmm.
politely paid back.
Oh.
And I thought, well, okay, that's the end of that. And then some years later, being in a small town, for those that don't know, I live in the oldest desert in the world, the Namib Desert.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a small town. There's about, you can say 40 something thousand people in my town.
Wow.
Most people have that in their suburb or on the
True.
corner of the suburb. And that's why people know each other in the town, And when people were asking and pursuing to develop their communication skills and they wanted to find out about Toastmasters, and eventually it led them to me, and they were asking me, would you be willing to start again? And myself and another lady that used to be Toastmasters, we started. Then only, dear Busi, did I learn that there was an exco of a club. I didn't even know there was such a thing like that. I just did my speeches. I was there ready for every meeting.
Bring it on.
And that's where I really, Debussy, I find that our greatest learning comes from our pain.
Wow.
And the pain was there wasn't a Toastmasters Club and we needed to start one. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when I learned the backbone of it and how amazing a Toastmasters Club is. I call it Toastmasters, my school of business, because everything you want to learn about business, you get an opportunity within Toastmasters, and you can't practice in your business. You get an idea of something or inspiration of something. You can't go try it out on your business and hope it will work. But Toastmasters is the only platform I know where that is what you can do. Isn't that so amazing, hey?
That sums up exactly what Toastmasters is about. Because if you're the CEO, you really can't be practicing. And who's going to give you feedback, Granny B? Who gives you feedback when you're the CEO?
Nope.
Others might try, but it's not as easy. But come to a Toastmasters club and you have usually 19 other people in the meeting who are ready to give you feedback. You have your evaluator, but because we're such a close-knit club, other people will still come back on the back end and say, oh, also, this is something that I picked up that could assist you. And that is what I love. My club, Global Women Extraordinaire, is so good at doing that. So you have the official evaluation, and then you have people coming in and giving you tips because the evaluator has 2 to 3 minutes to give you feedback. But everyone else will come into your inbox and give you feedback. Anyway, since I've done a shout out for my club, what is the name of your club, Granny B?
Well, I am in Swakopmund, so that's the club, Swakopmund Toastmasters. Very simple. Nothing fancy about that.
There you go. So those of you in Namibia who are coming through, please go ahead and check out this Toastmasters Club. It's hybrid. or it's online?
So what we do is, since COVID, we realized the importance of developing an online presence as well as an in-person presence. And for that, we decided to skip the hybrid because it's just too technically and involved. And we decided, nope, we will do one meeting in person and one meeting online. So we normally have the second Monday of the month online and the fourth Monday of the month in person. And that's where we draw our experience from.
Love the flexibility of Toastmasters. It's so much structure, but it's really flexible enough to get everybody involved. Who knows? You might have members who want to join all the way from Timbuktu for your online presence once they see the amazing Granny B and they are enchanted by the youth of a 64-year-old. Granny B, you are holding a position that is bigger than a CEO. You know how we say the president of a club is like the CEO of a company? You are the district director for District 74. The District 74 that is still amazing, was even more dynamic when you had 129 involved in there as well. Do tell us, how are you finding this office that you are holding?
You know, dear Busi, this is definitely a 4-year journey and a very amazing 4-year journey. It has a very specific start to it, and then as you move up until the point of becoming district director, and then the following year from being the leader to the supporter. You are not numbered amongst the great anymore. And I think it's such a beautiful learning experience in being a leader and serving as a leader. However, when it comes to District 74, again, being executive coach, one of the most important things for me was I've got this thing to make sure, or to empower people to become winning teams. I did some research on that. What is it that can ensure a team can win? And as I did some research, I came across in particular one thing. It was a Google study. It was a Project Aristotle that they had. And sorry, you know, Google aces it when it comes to employing people. They just know how to find the best of the best, the cream of the crop. You know, they know who to find, where to find you, and who to appoint.
Right.
But yet, they saw that within these amazing people, there were teams that did exceptionally well, exactly what they expected, but there was disaster as well, which they did not expect. So they did this research to find out, so what is it that makes a winning team? And you know, Busi, the one thing they did discover is that nothing of who you are or I am guarantees a winning team. Nothing. Not your personality, your race, your religion, your age, your education, your gender, your nationality. Nothing. Nothing. Not the kilograms on the scale, the size of your dress, the length of your nails, the color of your hair. Nothing about who you are or who I am will guarantee a winning team. But they did discover something else.
I am all ears.
They discovered that how we interact with each other, to the point of creating a psychological safe environment, lays down the absolute basics and sets the course of a winning team. It is fundamental to a winning team. Now, I'm sure you can think about situations in your life where you were part of a team, you guys had fun, you had great interaction, and you could do anything, you could conquer the world. And then, where there were these attitudes where you have to, you're walking on ice. You could be swallowed up by whatever. You got to watch what you say. You do not deliver your best in those occasions. So again, getting back to Toastmasters, being our platform of practice, I felt that when I deal with executives, it's fine to share with them research. It's fine to share with them the knowledge, etc., that I have. But I would like to also share experience. And that is my 4-year journey to take all the various aspects that I have learned and to put them together and to see how can we empower winning teams from a club level with club officers to area leaders, division leaders, and a district as a whole. And that's the reason why this District 74's focus this year is to create a culture of care. Because when we deeply care for each other from the heart. Now, Busi, deeply caring doesn't mean it's all mushy and soft. Caring conversations are conversations where you have a manipulator or a controller and you lay down very clear boundaries.
Right.
And you need to have caring conversations when people break those or step over those boundaries. Caring conversations can be painful too.
Oh, yes.
So that, dear Busi, is the goal for this district. Actually, just one more thing quickly.
Okay, all right.
I read a quote by Muhammad Ali. Now, the quote of Muhammad Ali, well, let me just tell you, it is quite a different kind of a quote. You know, it's not the kind of quote that you would pick up anywhere. You hear what I'm saying?
Okay, all right.
He was, I'm not going to be able to quote it from memory like that, but I'm going to give you my version of it. And what he was saying is, he said, I hated training. He hated training. But he chose to do it because he knows for the rest of his life, it will make him a champion. He will be a champion. And you know the champion Muhammad Ali was, hey?
Oh, yes.
So based on that, for me, I think when we go through what we're going through as a president or a member, it doesn't matter who you are, what level you're busy at, you have your work, you have your family life, now you have Toastmasters, and you want to do your own education, you want to do your levels, etc. But now you may be taking up an office of some kind, and you could begin to feel overwhelmed. But you see, it's part of your training. And though you might hate that training because you feel overwhelmed and you can't get to everything, remember, it's that training make you a champion for life. And you see, if we create that culture of care, we potentially create champions for life. So this is what I close off with by saying on this. Sorry, it's quite lengthy, but here it is. Can you imagine if we create that culture of care in a club amongst members? And now ordinary member becomes extraordinary because they are learning how to care. And they're setting themselves up for becoming that champion, for their success. And because they're doing that, all of a sudden, when people look at them, they begin to stand out. They stand out at home because the family sees something different. They stand out at work because they become different as they learn to deeply care. Well, after they start standing out, they become sought after. When people have a project and say, who's going to do that? Oh, I know. They become sought after. They become headhunted and they become their own champion, their own number one. So you see, Busi, if we can bring that culture of care right into our clubs amongst our members, and our members can rise up and become champions and winners, what does that make the club? A winning club. What does it make the area? If you have a few winning clubs, a winning area. What does it make a few winning areas? A winning division. And so we potentially can be the number one district in the world.
Wow.
It is about caring from the heart.
Love, love, love that philosophy. I've heard it said that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. The way you've put it together is so simple, but again, they say things that are simple to do are just as simple not to do. So it's going to take clubs and members being very intentional so that as they win at club level, every member is winning. They're getting value for their subscription and for their personal growth. It's not going to be difficult for treasurers to get subscriptions paid. We've just gone through a renewal season with our club, with Global Women. It really was a walk in the park. Same members are seeing value. The members are being celebrated. It was so easy for the treasurer to have dues paid. The area gets to win in the same way. You're breaking down of these steps, Granny B. I am betting on District 74 becoming an outstanding district. Your philosophy is flawless as long as people have taken it to heart and they're going to run with the vision. How have you energized your leadership? Because the members will follow the leaders, and that's what will make leading a joy. So how have you energized, how have you motivated your leaders?
It always comes down to the why. Why are you here? Why are you here? And if your why is not being answered to, you're going to lose sight. You're just going to find something else to lean on as a crutch to say, I can't make it for this meeting. I can't do my project. I can't. It is critical. It's critical that leaders help others constantly connect to their why. It's the same as a relationship. If two people get married and they say to each other, I love you at the wedding, and they never talk to each other again, how long will that last?
Okay.
We need to keep the romance with your why fresh so that there's constant intentionality of purpose, then you will not mind the training because you know you will be a champion.
Wow. I heard you in my inner spirit, in my soul, with every fiber. I heard what you just said. You need to keep that why known and get the value from your subscriptions as you address that why. So simple, yet so profound. Granny B, thank you so much for your time. I am absolutely honored to have had you. And like I said, I am betting on you because when you talk of caring, I was an area director under your district. And personally, I saw and experienced your caring heart when I was going through something. And you stepped up and you helped me see things in a different light and helped me work through it. People don't really care how much you know, like I said. And I cannot quote verbatim what you said to me, but I can still remember how I felt every time I spoke to you. So I am excited for the leaders under your leadership. I am betting on them, and I know that we have a success story that is brewing because your leadership is one of care. Thank you for caring, and thank you for being you, and thank you for saying yes to coming onto this talk with me and the dear listeners.
Thank you so much, dearest Busi, and to each and every person that listens. I want to ask you, do you know why you are here? Do you care enough about you to make you a champion? Thank you, Busi.
Mic drop moments. Bam! Do you care about you? Love it! Granny B, I was working so hard to be so composed, and you almost had me lose it right at the very end. Thank you so much. And I am sure we'll talk again. Thank you for being one of the 100 voices on Toast Talks with Coach Busi. I absolutely celebrate and salute you, ma'am. All the best to District 74 and all your wonderful members and leaders.
When we connect with each other from the heart, we give each other wings to fly.
Ooh,
Create a culture of care. Bye-bye.
Wings to fly. Dear listeners, over and out is being Coach Busi and Granny B, District Director of District 74. Bidding you a very good night, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where in the world you are. Goodbye.